In the world of first and third person shooters, which were genres that felt particularly oversaturated about a decade ago, you needed to be something particularly special to stand out from the crowd. With established series such as Halo and Call of Duty, there was little room for new series to break out and feel unique. But one series that successfully did make a name for itself during this era was a title by the name of Borderlands. And this series did it through the strong character of its world building. And, of course, the loot. Everything about Borderlands takes what could be a standard adventure shooter world and turns it on its head to make it unique and memorable. The first game made a name for itself by establishing the looter-shooter genre as it is today, but where the series really hit its stride and turned its quirkiness up to 11 was Borderlands 2. The best way to describe this world is mass chaos. While societies and cities exist, everyone seems to be out for blood, mentally unstable, or caught up in the weirdest of hobbies and details. This world is certainly a dystopia, but while many other dystopian worlds take tragedy to build serious, dark, and reflective narratives about human existence, Borderlands just seems to roll with it. Everyone's deep-rooted trauma allows a world of totally insane and memorable characters to thrive. This aspect is what really makes Borderlands' world feel believable and rooted. It's not random and insane for fun's sake. Everything is rooted in a world where everyone is damaged, and only the strongest survive. But Borderlands has fun defining who the strongest are. This isn't a world filled with macho men, though those do certainly exist. It's a world filled with robots who never stop talking. It's the world inhabited by a 13-year-old girl with a bloodlust for bandits. And it's got the, doctor who's clearly working in the realm of legality here, guys. To help balance some of the insanity are the player characters, who always take on the role of vault hunters. Because these characters have limited dialogue, they allow the player to project themselves onto them and to see the world through their eyes. They're given just enough personality to not feel out of place, but are also far more neutral than the rest of the world. Also, a unique aspect of Borderlands is that you always have new player character options in each game to vary up gameplay styles and increase replayability. While other series might use this as a moment to easily write off their old characters, Borderlands takes on the difficult challenge to turn the characters you controlled in previous games into important NPCs for the next game's story. It feels a little bit weird at first to watch someone you once saw the world through their eyes now just be a character in the story, but it allows the writers to be able to do so much more with their characters and let them be seen from a different light. Also, because you as a player have personally journeyed with them before, there is a level of personal investment in their tales from the get-go. Even when these characters do get a bit more personality as NPCs, they fit into the world well. They are often in positions of command and lead, and they stay true to themselves. Even with the more insane characters that make up Borderlands' world, their dialogue is often witty, the characters have real motives and passions. Like, part of the reason Tiny Tina makes sense is because her parents were killed by bandits, so she still acts more childish than she should for her age, throwing tea parties and inviting people over, but she's also just so twisted by this savage world that she enjoys blowing things up and getting revenge while wearing a smile on her face. Her personality is unexpected, and yet makes perfect sense, and the unusual contrast within her makes her so much fun. Then there's Handsome Jack, considered by many to be one of the greatest video game villains. You'll learn he's pulling the strings even before you knew he existed. His personality and lines are filled with over-dramatic arrogance and flair, and yet, when you find out the reason he did everything, it all begins to fall into place. You begin to understand and maybe even have a little bit of empathy for a bad guy who is designed to be one of those love-to-hate-him types. It's not just the characters who get this treatment. This balance is all throughout Borderlands' gameplay and missions. A lot of this series is about subverting expectations. For example, the ending of the first game is still pretty controversial, but it was unexpected after working so long for the goal of trying to open that vault. Or I think of a side mission in Borderlands 2 where an enemy begs you to shoot him in the face. Like, okay, is it seriously this easy? You just want me to... Yep. Oh, cool, an achievement. You think you would get used to the morbid humor, wit, and nonsense that occurs, but it always honestly kept me on my toes. I think my all-time favorite mission is in Borderlands 2 when you start a clan war and wage the war on both sides basically entirely by yourself. It's mass chaos, it's beautiful, it's fistful of dollars. I honestly felt like a horrible human being despite the fact that these characters are virtual and not at all real, but yeah, it's still so much fun. Borderlands does chaos and insanity with intense thought and planning. It creates a world that you just can't help but remember. It makes you want to see just what wacky thing they thought up next. And that's at least what I love about the Borderlands series. Now my husband and I just need to sit down and finish playing Borderlands 3. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in supporting the creation of these videos, please feel free to check out my Patreon. I hope you all are staying safe, and I hope you have a lovely day.